Anyway, welcome. This is the first of the living room sessions, and this kind of came about hundreds of years ago. This is the way music was done in people's homes, and sit and listen to chamber music and everything. So this is exciting that we're kind of getting this started again with patrons of the arts that are opening their homes like this, and we get to come and share. We've curated this system to be your 60 minutes up close and personal, with only great works and the master minds who dedicate their lives to performing them. So this is we're really looking forward to these sessions. On the back of your program, you'll see a little bit more about what we're looking at here. The arts patrons in the home today. We're in the home of Sharon and Keith McGavick today, and they've opened their home for this. And in the future, you can have the opportunity to do the same in the different venues. But right in the middle, that says we meet in their homes. We enjoy professional performances, light delicacies. You've already seen those in there. That's great. Experience the great works through the mind of the artist as they perform and discuss the work that they're doing. So this is really exciting thing going on. The season itself, open your programs up and tell you a little bit about the season. Starting off in October, October 21st, we start off with Broadway hits, 5-time Arizona Award winner, baritone Toby Yatso. So that'll be an exciting one with Broadway hits and information up close, and you can talk to him and ask him. If you become a member, you have the opportunity to actually have input, vote on who you'd want to hear, what kind of questions you want to hear in advance and everything. In December 2nd, The Mind of Shakespeare, featuring David Dickinson, who's with us here today, Southwest Shakespeare Company actor. So thanks for joining us today. To be or not to be, there is the question. Come January, Moonlight Sonata, favorite piano masterpieces. We've got brothers, Chris and Johnny Rice, coming. And I said to Ashley, well, wait, that's not a piano. That one guy's got between his legs there. So, no, they both talented brothers, both piano and cello. So really talented musicians. Coming in February, the death scene from Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake. I've got to warn you, if you want to host this in your home, you're going to need a little bit of space for a prima ballerina. So that's our exciting season, Tickets for that can be purchased today, discounted for $40 for all of those, So, and we have, can even take a credit card today too. Inside your packet, you will see this contact card. So what we'll need is the information that's on the back, and you can tell us, yes, I want to become a member, and get one of these cool cards, a membership card. That gets you into all 4 of the performances this year. You might want to get an extra one for a friend or something. It's an awesome deal for like $10 a time to come and really sit with these masters and see this up close and hear this stuff. Amazing. Or you might even want to say, yeah, I want to have one in my home. So you can check either one of those boxes, and you can fill this out during the session and leave it with me when we're all through there today. A little bit about today's session. This is also in your folder there. Today we're going to be seeing the works of American composer Harriet Neff Murphy. And this talks a little bit about her. You'll see down at the bottom, Ashley has some input. Also, Jacqueline has her input as well as a singer and about the lyrics. A lot to be said there. Harriet Neff Murphy is a fact that I just found out. She was influential on the psychedelic music industry. And Ashley will tell you about that, because she has a lot of the dominant 7 chord with a sharp 9th, also known as the Jimi Hendrix chord. So, and in the song Purple Haze. And she was doing this 80 years before that, so not that he got it from her. Very interesting. Okay, so if you will also pull out your other sheet that's in there, this is what's going to happen today, and some bio of the performers here. So the performances that you guys are going to see, these are scripted monologues. So when they do talk, it is something they prepared in advance. Okay, this is not an open dialogue time when they're performing here. So hold your questions or any comments you might have till afterwards. Okay. And like I said before, once you have the membership, you have input as to what they're going to talk to you about, what you may want to know from them. Today, first off, starting off is Ashley Bradford, and you'll see her bio there. Ashley's a classical recording artist, international performer. She's been featured on NPR. She recorded with Glenn Campbell on Twin Peaks over there in Tempe. I remember that. She's toured extensively, and more of her credentials are on her bio right there. She holds a bachelor's in piano performance and earned a master's in music from Boston University. She is going to open our program today with Pleasant Valley from Malabar Suite, playing Morning, Ashley Bradford.
all for coming. It's great to see all of you guys. Everybody, that's so many special people to me. So that's Morning from Harriet Neff Murphy. You convinced she was maybe one of the greats that we never knew about, right? So we're discovering her music. That was Morning from Malabar Suite. It was one of the many pieces that had already been pre-approved, had already been accepted for a movie score. So it's something that you had the movie been made, which we'll talk about a little later. It may be a household song, you might have recognized it. So Harriet was born in 1906. She was born in Crestline, Ohio. And she was a very serious pianist. She took from a very elite classical teacher. And already at age 14, very young teenager, she was already performing professionally. And playing, so cool to imagine this, playing the scores for the silent movies. So if you're going to go to see a silent movie, this little 14-year-old, you wouldn't even know, she was back playing all the music for it. Incredible talent. So at 17, she was offered full scholarship to fly to Europe and to continue her training and to have a big debut as a concert pianist in Europe. And as things so often went, especially back then, and especially for women, she was not allowed to go. The family did not allow her to go. And with all fairness, it was probably a very scary prospect to think about that at that time. So she instead was married, and she spent the rest of her life, she had one son, spent the rest of her life caring for her son and composing. Years after her death, her box, and you can see a few of her original manuscripts over here, her box of original manuscripts was found. Years after her death. So this next piece that I'm going to play is called Evening. So it's a companion piece to the first one. And if you can imagine, you see the picture on your program, inside your program there's actually a picture of Malabar Farm. So this is her music, her interpretation of Malabar Farm in the Evening. Thank you. Evening, so beautiful. I think it's one of the most beautiful pieces I've ever played. Truly. Beautiful. So her music is significant for a number of reasons. And number one, this is just personal. I just remember, music history in college, and I was asking the professor, where are all the American classical composers? We'll learn about all these famous classical composers from other countries, and over here in America, we know Gershwin, we know Copland, and why aren't they in the history books? Where are the American composers? And at least my professor's explanations were always, well, there hasn't really been any significant ones. Yeah, right? We claim Gershwin and Copland because that's all we got, right? But the other countries don't think they're really all that. So in about the last 20 years, people have started saying, well, I wonder if the great stuff was in the 50% of the population that was writing the women, the females, who didn't get published. Maybe that's actually where the great stuff is. So now, as these works, there are many of us now that there's a lot of funding going in to actually recording these works and getting them out there and studying them and finding them. So you'll see in some of my notes there that Harriet's music has the advanced vocabulary of the great masters, Bach, Beethoven, Rachmaninoff. She uses all the fancy vocabulary chords that probably won't mean anything to most people, but Neapolitans and German minute sixths and all the things that you should be using if you're a great classical pianist, as well as soaring melody lines, inner voicings, all the things that shows that she knows her stuff and she can hit with the big boys, right? And then she has a very unique Americana in her music. Her husband was the featured saxophone player for the Paul Whiteman's big band, which I don't know much about my early history of big band, so I had to look that up. And it's literally the major big band from all of history. Right? So it was the most significant, the most famous, the it band of the whole big band era. Her husband, Harriet's husband, was the saxophone player for that band. So she had a unique position between that and her playing for the silent movies, to have an authentic Americana voice that was very, very organic in her music. So some things that you hear in her music, it sounds very classical, yeah, but there's these little Americana chords in there. So there's things, as my dad had mentioned, she uses the augmented dominant seventh chord. And that is the precursor to the Hendrix chord, what made Jimi Hendrix famous. You hear swing rhythms and compound rhythms that are obviously from big band. You hear her extended voicings using ninths, elevenths, things like that, that are big band sounds, jazz sounds. So you're going to be hearing some of that. I'm going to play one more piece for you. It's a little longer than the others, and then Jackie's going to come out, and we're going to sing some much lighter, fun, like 1940s kind of tunes, and we're going to do 6 of those, and they're going to be fun. Okay, so the last kind of serious thing. The Farm. That's what this one's called. Thank you. You can hear her, just her voice, just wailing, can't you, through the ages. You saw a little bit of Jacqueline Castillo. She's going to come out and we're going to really line things up going on. Isn't she fantastic? Jacqueline, I'm going to do the honors of introducing her. She has been a professional singer, performer her whole life. She entertained for Disney for years. She's a Disney gal. She's eternally young. She has an extensive resume. She looks much younger than what she actually is. And then she got married and started a family and settled down here and has been in all sorts of professional shows, Dreamgirls and Cats. Yeah. The Wizard of Wiz, The Wiz. She's done all kinds of shows. So we're going to lighten things up and have a little bit of fun. But let me grab my book with the vocal pieces in it, and I'll be right back.
Is going to be Don't Fool Around with Love. And when I first started singing the songs, I was taken with this one immediately. I don't know if my notes are in there, but this song I feel like is kind of one of those songs that feels almost timeless. I feel like it could have been covered by anybody. Like Whitney Houston could have sung this song with a guitar behind, with a soaring like electric guitar, and it could be done by anyone. And I feel like if this music had been published back when she was writing it, that this song would have been covered over and over. Songs to have in one of those Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers movies where they're going to be doing lots of dancing, and I don't know, maybe she starts off singing the song and she's like, oh, I saw you flirting with the waitress and now I'm upset, so I'm going to sing this song. And there's not a verse 2, but I feel like if there was a verse 2, then Fred would sing it and be like, yeah, but I saw you tip the bellboy like $10. So, and then they all live happily ever after, because that's how things go. But when you hear it, you'll definitely hear like, oh, yeah, there was one more verse in here. And that's another thing, I don't know if Ashley had a moment to tell you about this. A lot of the vocal songs that we're doing today are not finished. So we had to go through and make decisions. So, and a lot of it's all handwritten. So when you do get a chance to look at it, you'll see that it's in her handwriting, which means not all of it is very legible, and you have to like kind of go through because it's so tiny to read her handwriting. But yes, that's why I feel if it had a second verse, Fred would sing it.
So cute.
This next one is It's True, and this is, I think, one of the songs that got me right away. I love this song. And this song, as Ashley said, like, not very much of it has been recorded. However, there were a couple of things that she was able to. It's friendly, it's peaceful, and that isn't all. Where else will friends and neighbors always lend a helping hand? Through all your cares and troubles, they will understand. And so if you don't know for certain where to settle down, here's a tip: take a trip to our little hometown. You'll find a heap of living in a little country town. No city hustle bustle gets you down. You don't need any invitation when you want to call. It's friendly. is Tell Me Now, and it's a beautiful song. And this is the song that made you ask
Yes.
me, right? Okay.
Yes.
So while she was playing through the music, she was deciding on who she wanted to ask to come and sing these songs, and this song made her think of me, and it's really pretty. It's a really great song.
It's great for your voice.
Thank you all for coming. We have one song left, and we just, it means so much to have each one of you here and each of your supports. This is, you guys are in on the very launch, the ground floor of really a new movement in arts performance. Sharon McHavoc being the patron of the arts and just a leader in so many areas in life, in her lifetime, and her career. She was one of the founders of this and what we're going to be doing. David Dickinson is our Shakespearean. You guys, this guy is the Shakespeare guy in the Valley, I swear to God. Like, fall at his feet, I swear to you. Yeah, like, for real, right? Okay. Big man, right? Okay, yeah. He's gonna be performing for us this season. You guys, this is not second string. Every single person you're gonna hear this season is curated, hand-chosen, top string. Right, so we had to choose dates around all of the big things. You'd have to pay $100 to see them in any other venue, right? So we had to choose dates around everything else that they have booked. But because of people such as Sharon, and hopefully some of you who will agree to host this year, we're able to support the artists who have spent their entire lives doing it. You know, when you go to see, and I'm not dissing the big venues and all that, but when you go to see a big venue, you pay $100 and the performer gets $100 to perform, and everything else goes to all the overhead in the venue and everything else that it costs. So
I think what's also great about this is that it's taking it back to, you know, back kind of when this music was being written, you know, back in the 20s and even before, when people were sitting around, back when we called this the parlor.
Yeah.
You know, and really getting a chance to hear these, you know, hear young people and, you know, people at the height of their careers as well perform and put their art out there.
Yeah.
So it is nice to be up close and personal with you guys as patrons of the arts as well.
Yeah, thank you. And that says a lot from somebody who, again, is leading all over the Valley. So it's catching on. The artists are super excited to see you guys. This is not just supporting the arts, guys. This is actually supporting the artist, right? So 90% of your ticket just goes to supporting the artist, and then 10% is like, you know, printing off your little things right there and buying some cheese, okay? That's the other 10% is going for. Okay. So typically it'll be $80, but just today, $40 for the whole season. And then you guys will be, you know, founding members. So please, everybody's got $40. Buy one for yourself, buy one for somebody else. Your mom, your sister, your best friend, whoever's your date, right? Your hot date.
Mother's Day is next week.
Yeah, but you want somebody to come with you, right? So get 2 of them. It'll be the cheapest date you've ever had in your life. You get 4 great dates with whoever you want to bring, and we'll have cheese, and we'll do all kinds of fun stuff. Cash, card, and also we have a PayPal for credit card. So, but my dad will exit. You guys are going to do a Whistling with them at the Moon, one more song. My dad's going to kind of direct you guys, and Sharon, beautiful, beautiful jewelry back here. Love it. So please take a look at this as well and support her as a patron of the arts. That's really important.
And if you did want to be a host, you can sign up with him as well over there.
Yes, thank you.
And one of your students as well. I'm one of your students.
Yes,
She sent me a flyer. She sent out flyers last spring when we first moved into this house, and it said, "You're never too old to learn." And I said, okay, I have this great piano. I need to learn how to play. So she is a fabulous teacher. If you'd like to sign up for lessons, I would highly recommend it. Cindy is also one of her students.
Yes. Yeah. David? Yes. Oh, yes, that's right. Yes. And we have Brock. We have Brock is an up-and-coming composer. You guys will be hearing from him definitely in the future. He has stuff all over YouTube. He's incredible. So he's one of the great next up-and-coming minds, yeah. So we have a very thriving adult program, though obviously most are adults.
Adults,
Yeah.